Hey guys, this is B from B's Gaming, and today I'm going to do an RNAV tutorial on the TBM 930. Please like and subscribe if you like this video. Alright, so let's get started. So what we're going to want to do is click on MFD, and then go to Flight Plan. Then we're going to set up our origin and destination. So in my case it's KHOU for Houston Hobby. So do this once for the origin, and then once for the destination. KHOU again for Hobby, because I'm coming back. Next, we're going to click Procedures, Approach. Make sure that it's KHOU, our airport. Then in this case, I'm going to do the RNAV 31 left approach. So I'm going to zoom out on the map real quick and hit load, and then you should be able to see the approach load, which we do see it here now. Alright, so I know from my IFR chart that we're going to have we're going to hit burner at 4,000 feet, or we're going to want to be at 4,000 feet when we hit burner. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that into the autopilot now. Alright, so now we're going to get ready for takeoff, and we'll be in the air here shortly. Alright guys, now that we're in the air, I'm going to want to fly in this heading just a little bit just to gain some altitude. But then I'm going to quickly hit the approach, so I'm going to activate the approach. And then I'm going to hit approach on the GPS. And then we should start seeing the airplane start turning towards our magenta line here. So as you can see, now we have started the turn toward that, and now we should be on track to intercept that magenta line, and then we'll be on course for the approach. So once we will reach an altitude of 4,000 feet, that's where we'll stop, because that's where we'll want to intercept burner. So one thing that you can see here is if you go to flight plan, then you'll be able to actually see the details. So you'll see that you'll have burner at 4,000 and Leslo at 2,100 and FAMOG at 880 feet. And this will match our IFR plate that we have for this approach. So that's one way to double check that it has been inputted correctly and that you're going to be flying the right approach, is to bounce it off the IFR approach plate. And these numbers should match. Alright, well, it's kind of a nice day to be doing an IFR flight. I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video here so you guys can go ahead and enjoy some of the nice views that Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 has to offer. Alright, so as we approach burner here, you can see that our glide path indicator here, right next to our altitude indicator, is pegged all the way to the bottom. And this isn't something you would expect. Usually you're approaching the glide path from below, so you'd expect that little indicator to be above. And I think this is just a problem with Microsoft Flight Simulator and the way the RNAVs are being done on the simulator. So there are a couple things you can do. You can just, we know the step down, what altitude we need to be at each specific point based off of our IFR plate. So we can definitely just manually do it. So for example, we know that at Leslo we want to be at 2100 feet. So we can just set up a certain vertical speed that we know will get us to about 2100 feet as we're crossing Leslo. So the way it has been working from my experience with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 so far is that it won't pick up the glide path until you're at the very last point. So in this case, that'd be Famog. And that's, at least for me, that's not ideal because I'd like to pick it up sooner. So what we can do, or what I discovered we can do, is go to the runway and then activate the last leg here. And then that'll make it start working. As you can see, it jumps to the top, which is what we would expect because we're approaching from below the glide path a little bit. So once we get closer to Leslo here, we would expect to be at 2100 feet. So eventually you will see that indicator start coming down, and it will get us on that glide path to get us to that 2100 feet by the time we hit Leslo. Alright, now we're starting to see it move down to catch the glide path. Right, and here we are. We're pretty close to approaching Leslo now, and it looks like we'll be probably hitting it a little bit above that 2100 foot mark, but we are a little bit above the glide slope if you look at the glide slope indicator. And now we have the runway in sight. So we just passed Famog, and it looks like we passed it at about the right altitude of 880 feet. At this point, I'm going to turn off the autopilot and hand fly it in. I like to do it from the last point in the approach to, once I pass it, I'll be hand flying in the rest of the approach. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment below what else you would like to see from this channel. Please like and subscribe, and as always, have a good night.